Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and this week's video is going to be a little bit more laid back because the week I'm recording this video is when I'm going to be going to the beach this year, so I'll be gone away from home for a few days, so I really don't have much time to make a full-fledged video this week, so I hope you forgive me for this. But today what we're going to be doing is looking at an old copy of the Greensboro News Record. This is our local newspaper. Bought this on eBay for about $3, and this dates from Thursday, January 21st, 1993. And the big story of that day was Bill Clinton's inauguration. I didn't buy the newspaper because of this. I bought it just so I could look at the old newspaper ads. So any political arguing, please leave that to yourself, not in the comments section of this video. So, yeah, it's pretty thick paper, thicker than you get these days. But I do remember when the News and Record looked like this. Now, the cool thing about the Greensboro News and Record back in the 90s and the 80s is that quite frequently you would see newspaper ads for Carolina Circle Mall. Now, I don't know if there's going to be one in this paper or not, but you never know. Most of my Carolina Circle Mall newspaper ad collection has come from the Greensboro Public Library downtown, from microfilm. So this one's going to be a little bit different since it's an actual full-fledged newspaper. So let's see what we got down here. Got a little blurb about the death of Audrey Hepburn, who died at 63. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up and get some news stuff right here, but I'm not going to be focusing on the news blurbs, but more on the ads. And here's the weather. In fact, I want to show one quick little thing here. I've always liked how the Greensboro News and Record does this. I think they still do it like this. They would use the statue of Nathaniel Greene, who was the founder of Greensboro, to dictate what the weather was going to be that day. And that day it was 100% chance of rain. So you see they got it raining on him. But back to the full-fledged weather report. Here's what the weather was like in the United States that day. This was 26.5 years ago, and the forecast for North Carolina. And we got an ad right here for Belk's for a sale they were having. Save an extra 25% off. Sale starts Thursday. Go. And Belk, Four Seasons, Friendly Center, Carolina Circle. Of course, Four Seasons is the store at Four Seasons is no longer there, and obviously the store at Carolina Circle Mall is definitely not there anymore. But the one at Friendly Center still is. So let's flip over to the next page. Okay. Some more news stuff right here. Something called Barty's Fine Jewelry at Four Seasons Mall and Friendly Shopping Center. And Hamrick's in Winston-Salem when they were at Parkway Plaza before they moved to Marketplace Mall, which we did a video of not too long ago. And another Belk ad. This is for the Belk Consolidated Clearance Center at Carolina Circle Mall. And there's a coupon there you could cut out. Lower level, Carolina Circle only. And unfortunately, the lower level of Belk's at Carolina Circle closed a year later in 1994. So it could become a post office. but the upper levels stayed open until, I believe, 1998, I want to say. Maybe 97. More news there. Heinz shoes. The Greensboro Urban Ministry. Help out by eating out. On January 26, 1993, restaurants throughout Greensboro will help fight hunger in Guilford County. And a list of stores, or restaurants I should say, that were around in Greensboro back in 1993. Some of these are still there. Some of these aren't still there anymore. Anyway, ad for JCPenney, which was at Four Seasons Town Center. It's still there. American Furniture Outlet there. Oh yeah, that brings back memories. Walking into electronic stores back then and seeing walls and walls of CRT televisions for sale. Some furniture again, I believe. RACYCLE, recycle. Little Rocco's Modern Life there for you. Okay, Lottie's Shoes at Golden Gate Shopping Center. Colfax Furniture, that's still there. Burlington Coat Factory in Greensboro and Burlington. And the Greensboro location was on High Point Road. High Point Road, of course, is now called Gate City Boulevard. That changed about 5 years ago, I want to say. Some letters to the editor. And this seller had a few other old news and records on his eBay store for about the same price, so I might look into buying a few more of these. Even had some from the 80s. Now here's what I'm talking about, Toys R Us. Love seeing these. Video Mania, the biggest selection around. This is advertising the Ren and Stimpy Space Cadet Adventures on Game Boy, which I guess had just been released. And it was $32.99. You could also buy Talking Ren Hoeks and Talking Stimpy dolls for $29.99. Wow, it's hard to believe. Back then you could get a TurboGrafx 16 for only $50. That's unheard of. Those things go for tons and tons of money now. And some Super Nintendo games, including Super Mario Kart, Home Alone 2, Mario Paint, and Wing Commander. And Game Boy games, including Super Mario Land 2, Super Mario Land 1, Home Alone 2, and Dr. Mario. Okay, sorry about that, but this shows the two locations in Greensboro at the time. The one next to Carolina Circle Mall, which is the one I went to religiously. Miss that store so much. And the other one on High Point Road, now Gate City Boulevard, which closed last year when all the other Toys R Us is closed. Okay, let's continue. A color ad for Dillard's clothing clearance for men. Oh, Dillard's. Address for Four Seasons and Carolina Circle. Well, the phone numbers, I should say. Alright, here's the local section of the paper. Move that out of the way. And for the Triad, Triad is what the Greensboro area is called. Triad consists of the three main cities, Greensboro, High Point, and Winston-Salem. And it has nothing to do with that first-person shooter Rise of the Triad. So I know someone's going to make that comment. Okay, what do we got here? Info for skiing, for people who wanted to drive up in the mountains. January blowout at Market City Leather. Oh, this is cool. Office Depot ad advertising a Apple Macintosh Performa 400. Looks a little bit like an LC series, but not. Had a 68030 microprocessor, 4 megabytes of RAM, 80 megabyte hard disk drive, 3.5 inch 1.44 meg super drive, which reads MS-DOS and Macintosh formatted disk. Mouse and keyboard included. Processor direct slot for additional expansion card. MS-DOS compatible. I don't know. I wouldn't think that was one of the Macs that had the DOS card in it. Maybe I'm wrong. and it would have set you back $1,300, not including the 640 by 480 14-inch color monitor, which was another $400. And here are the 3 area locations in Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point. So really, really cool. And the old Sears outlet on Lawndale Drive. I remember that place. It's always exciting to turn the page to see what's on there. Oh yeah, Waccamaw Pottery. I remember that place. Oh, Revco. Yep, this was the big pharmacy in our area back then. Used to go to Revco all the time. Of course, Revco was bought out by CVS in 1997 and has been CVS ever since. See all the old packaging. 26 years and Tic Tac mints look the same. Anyway, okay, not much on this page. Just an ad for Bob Dunn Jaguar. All the stock reports. And a big old color ad for Parks Mazda and Parks Chevrolet Geo. All those old looking cars. Of course, they were new looking at the time. Geo Metro. Oh, those were junk. And the sports section. Nothing much here to see except for an ad for a golf store. Precision Tune Total Car Care. They ripped my dad off back in the early 2000s. Listen to Bill Waters, the Precision Mechanic, Saturday 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on WGLD AM 1320. Don't remember that station. For all I know, it could still be on the air. Nothing much over here. I don't know if I can turn the page there. There's the crossword. Okay. More car ads. Rice Marco Infinity. Alright. Turn the page again. Hopefully it's not car ads for the rest of the way. And even more car ads there. Nothing too exciting. Oh yeah, Trader Chevrolet Geo. I remember them. They are not there anymore. Time to get excited at Rice Toyota. That is the most 90s looking ad in the world, I think. And of course, Rice Toyota is still there. But Not looking quite as 90s as they used to. And the life section of the paper, including an article about Mr. Rogers. I'll have to read that. Something about Howard Stern. And we got some movie schedules. There's some of the movies that were out at the time. Most interesting to me right here is this ad for the Circle 6 theaters at Carolina Circle Mall, which was showing Home Alone 2, which I actually saw at that particular theater back in December of '92 when it first came out. That was the first movie I ever saw in a theater, so that is really cool. And up here, Hollywood's hopes rest on a few good men. See Macaulay Culkin right there. And the TV listings. Back when TV was worth watching. The Primetime Guide. There's a lot to see there. And the comics, including my favorite, Garfield. And Peanuts. And I believe this is the end. And the last ad here is for Radio Shack, America's technology store. Radio Shack gigantic clearance. Prices cut 10% to 60% plus. Oh yeah, not showing anything in particular, but always cool to see stuff for Radio Shack. So, that's the Greensboro News and Record from January 21st, 1993. Sadly, no ads for Carolina Circle Mall itself. But to be honest with you, I think I've got about every ad ever made for that mall in the newspaper saved on my computer. So I doubt I'm really missing much. So I hope you enjoyed this more laid-back video. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like. The link to all of these are down below. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off.